I think we're live. Just gonna listen to a bunch of shit in the background. Well, it's live. Is it going? Doobie-doobie-doo, doobie-doobie-dee. Let's see if we can bring up the monitor. Monitor says we're not live. Look at the waving hand. Pay attention to the waving hand. There we go. That one's live. Get the television up. Okay, we're good. Apparently the iPad is not going live. All right. Let's get some lights going. Yeah, here we go. Happy spring. Yesterday was the equinox, I believe, if I'm not mistaken with my, should put that in the title. The equinox celebration. I gotta make some coffee. Let's celebrate with coffee. Yeah, the recycling needs to go out. I get it. Been waking up every morning looking over there to see if anyone showed up to take the recycling out, and apparently no one's shown up yet, so put it on the list of things to cross your fingers and wish for. And we'll go with that angle. I don't know if that's the best angle or not. That's the one we're going with. Yep. Another week. This week was weird. Started off with a, what would you call it? A life-threatening cold weather event. A blizzard with double-digit below zero wind chills. Which, I'll be honest with you, I knew the blizzard would be coming, but I didn't check the temperature. That got crazy. I mean, I talk about my life a lot, but I made it the whole season without running heat in my house. I used wood fire the whole season until last weekend because my wood fire pile wood was empty and the rest of it was clear in the back, and I didn't think I needed to get any, and it was so cold I didn't want to go out and get any, so I just turned the heat on. That's a fact. I just said screw it. Walk outside in that shit to get firewood or just crank the heat. I just cranked the heat, man. That was nuts. It was cold. But it was only like 2 days, and then like, well, yesterday it was like 90 degrees. All within a week. Like, I stopped at a lemonade stand, bought lemonade yesterday. I was like kind of glad there was some lemonade these days. You know what it costs for a lemonade these days? $1. They're charging $1 for a lemonade. Man. I mean, I obviously gave her $2 because she had her little brother there who was doing nothing but fruiting around. I said, share that with your brother so they didn't have to share $1 because I know what it's like to have to share $1. That's lame. Let me grab some water real quick. It's pretty good lemonade. I think there was actually real lemons in it. Just a hint of soap I detected, but, you know, what do you expect? I'd seen her the day before, but, like, it wasn't that hot that day. She must have been testing the market. It's kind of funny because, like, unless I'm, like, late for something, I normally stop at lemonade stands. And, I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood without a lot of traffic, and I believe we've tried lemonade stands, and we were never successful, and it was always heartbreaking. And the few times someone would buy something, it was, like, next level, like, amazing. You know, it was just amazing. So yesterday or 2 days ago when I drove by, I kind of slowed down and kind of like looked at them, and I was like, oh man, I needed to be someplace, so I was like, I can't time for this. And I don't know, the girl must have recognized me because the next day, yesterday, man, she was waving her arms and jumping up and down. I was like, all right, you're flagging me down, I got you. Lemonade stand. And so begins the next entrepreneur. All right, what are we doing here? Talking to ourselves, apparently, but there's nothing wrong with that. I was always told, as long as you don't answer, you can talk to yourself. All right, so pancakes it is, I guess. Oh, hey, what's up, Jeremy? Welcome to the stream. Did you buy any lemonade from a stand recently? We'll start with juice, I guess. We're gonna make pancakes today. Actually, I didn't get all the stuff out. Got a little bit of syrup left. The bottle's getting a little disgusting. Kind of embarrassed to put that on the internet, but really don't actually care. Just I say those things so I sound like a normal person. Got the butter. Check. We got the backup juice container today because the other juice container is currently in the dishwasher waiting to be cleaned. But just because it's the backup juice container doesn't mean we can't give it the old dish towel de-dusting. Oh, she's cleaning up real nice. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Alright. I think I got the water going for the coffee. It's kind of crazy. I got two of these. One's a backup. It's not really a backup. It just sits in the back. Does that mean it's a backup if it sits in the back? Alright. So Jeremy's here. Jeremy, did you get any new tools lately? That's what you always used to ask me. You got any new tools? Did you get any new tools? Let's see what the plug is. I did get some new tools. That's not true. I got some old tools. I got some old wrenches. I'll have to do a video on them. Old Ford wrenches from like a Model A, I think they are, if I'm not mistaken. Found them in a bucket. All rusty and not looking great. Looking like they were on the way out is what they look like. And I gave them a second lease on life. This might be too frozen to come out of the container. Oh, we forgot to talk about the juice. 100% juice, apples, kiwi, strawberry. I'm sitting here reading from the corner. And it's going to make 100% juice once I add 3 things of water in. So right now it's 400% juice, or I don't know what it is. 1 delete by 3, that's 400% juice. I think so. It's very strong juice. Not recommended that you drink it uncut. 3 cans, yes. This juice, like always, is mostly apple juice, and then it's pear juice, and it's grape juice, and then it's strawberry juice, and then it's kiwi juice. Is there apple in here? Oh yeah, apples first. Sorry, I already read that. I don't have any coffee in me right now, so you're going to have to bear with me. I do truly struggle without. Let's grab the water real quick. Jeez. Whoop. One. Two. Good times. Ooh, that's a proper lid. That one hasn't been all stretched. Don't go crazy and shoot the juice everywhere, as you've been known to do. Alright. Just remembered I gotta give myself a thumbs up. Otherwise, if I don't give myself a thumbs up, ain't nobody give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell. Shit makes me laugh. I know I've been kind of slacking on the videos lately. I actually got contacted by somebody who was like, "What's going on, bro?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I know. I haven't had any good content to upload. Coming soon, there will be, well, I don't know what you'd call it, unlimited content. Is that possible? Like, I think I might be approaching unlimited content here shortly. But as it is now, there's some limited content. All right, here we go. Heard the old beep. She's warm. Coffee is a go. Don't know if I'm getting a good angle on that, but that's the angle we're getting. I mean, I could, jeez. Mr. Ambidextrous. The process. I'm not gonna lie, I really do enjoy this French press. A lot more than I thought I would. I was kind of bummed at first I was gonna have to deal with French press. All right. I need to get the griddle warm in because I made French toast the other week and then I had extra egg batter and I cooked it on here and I shouldn't have. This needs reseasoned desperately bad. But like, every time I use it, I just think to myself, nah. There's a person I know who also has one that needs seasoned desperately bad, and I might have to do both at the same time. The other persons I know is was extraordinarily caked. I took a what do you call it? A scraper to it the other day, and that griddle, which is probably the other griddle, not this one. The other griddle's that's got to be well over 100 years old. It had gotten down to about the size of a French toast or a grilled cheese, and the rest perimeter was almost an 1/8 inch thick of life. It was wild. It's gonna clean up nice, but with that much stuff on there, there's like two ways you can do cast iron. You can stick it in the oven when you do a cleaning cycle. That's what I've done in the past. Or you can do electrolysis, which requires a setup and some equipment, which I'm pretty sure I have all that equipment. I don't know. Sometimes I get chicken shit when it comes to electrocution. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think I could probably handle it, to be honest with you, but we need to get some scrapings. This one was that way too. When I got it, it was wildly, and I just scraped it and said screw. That's why over here it's like, that's a good 1/16 inch thick there. I mean, that's seasoned. It comes off in flakes sometimes. It makes you strong. You get some of that carbon in you. Builds character. Makes you a character. The biggest problem with this one is the seasoned flakes are aggressive and they grab the paper towels, and then you're eating paper, which I currently am flopping paper into the pile. But I mean, I'm still alive. I've been using this for 25 years myself. This one's probably over 100 years old. All right, that's still warming up. We'll get another one. I don't know if it's actually true, but my theory is the steam sanitizes it, right? Like the COVID can't live through the steam and get on my pancakes, can it? Just like dilution is the solution to pollution, add heat. Like right now, all I smell is the egg batter from that whatever it was that I had the other day, French toast. And every time I do that, I say to myself, why'd you do that? But I always have extra egg batter, and I'm me. I can't just throw it away. I got to eat it. And it's like, well, I'm going to dirty another pan. And I always try to like pour it carefully. Like, I'm going to just pour it carefully. Which, pour it carefully. That's like an oxymoron. It's like, you're going to kick yourself in the nuts carefully or something? Like, come on now. All right. We're going to go ahead and call that. Most of the paper towel fluff will just constitute as what's called fiber. I'll just be here. Oh! Humble. All right, let's get some coffee in us. I'm obviously not operating correctly without my coffee. Sugar. Oh man, I'm trying to think what else can I talk about that isn't a bunch of spoilers. Spoilers. It's all spoilers. Everything's spoilers. Nothing but a bunch of spoilers. Perfect. Oh, is that? How do I always forget that I'm actually filming this, and maybe a better angle would be. Well, I think we're still live. That's wild. Forgot about that. Got the loop of death and a return there. Woo! I just saw that. I was just looking at my screen and just like, it just glitched and then completely fired back up shortly thereafter. Note to self, don't start the stream early. Okay. Oh, man. I hadn't set my clocks in my kitchen, and the other day I was supposed to do something at an hour, and I was in my kitchen looking at the clock. I was like, oh, I still got time. Nope, I was late. Oops. Don't be that guy. I need to stop filling my coffee cup so full too. That's another situation. What am I gonna deal with that? Oh, it's spilled. Okay. Going in. That just happened. Oh, my nose is running. I'm on the internet. Sorry for the slurps. It's a live stream. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. Woo! Maybe it's the LED lights that do it to me. I feel like I need to blow my nose though. Alright, perfect. The other thing I realized is I need to do laundry like very badly because all my hand towels are currently in the laundry pile. Well, not all of them. The ones that fit in the kitchen. There's levels to kitchen towels, I guess. There's the good ones, and then there's the old good ones, and there's the ones that aren't the right color that are good ones, but they're the wrong color, and then there's the not so good ones. Oh, man. Okay, let's make some pancakes. I'll pour juice here in a second. Get my brain engaged to what I'm doing. Takes a second for that coffee to kick in. Ugh! So good. All right, just regular pancakes today. I do have a project that I am working on. I came across another waffle maker that was basically unusable. And the reason it was unusable was because waffles would not come out of it. If you put batter in this waffle maker, the batter would fuse to the waffle maker and you couldn't get the waffles out. And I'd heard lore of this waffle maker. It's a very old waffle maker. And the waffle maker had been replaced, and I think it got replaced another time. So like there's been 3 purchases from the original owner. And the waffle maker was, just sitting there, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, what's the deal with this waffle maker? I was talking to the person who owned it. And they're like, the waffles don't come out of it. So I looked at it. I opened it and looked at it, and I was like, oh, that's why. So it's a really old waffle maker. It's a General Electric automatic grill waffle maker. And I believe the waffle maker's from we'll just say the 60s. Mid 60s, if you will. And if you were alive anytime they were along the old route of like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you'll be aware that there was a product that came out. It was called cooking spray, where you could have a can, you just go ch-ch, and then your stuff would like probably have a better chance of not getting stuck. Well, the oils, if you will, in cooking spray, I'm not a scientist, but I play one on the internet on a live stream cooking show. Polymers, polymer chains, and heat react differently. And apparently the cooking spray polymer chains, when added to heat, would form essentially a... I don't even know. plastic, oh, not plastic, but like a shield, enamel, whatever. A seasoning, which is good, you know. That's what it's like a sheen. I learned all this and I forgot all this. Anyways, but what happened is it got so much over time that it started forming little lumps. And then if you had a little bump there, it's like forming a pearl, just layers and layers and layers. So the griddle of the waffle iron just had little fingers everywhere, these little grippers everywhere, just little bumps everywhere, which was just, it was just grip. And that's why the waffles wouldn't come out. Just, I mean, I'm not trying to overestimate the science of the matter, but that's what was happening. Oops. Use one of these inky ones first. So, you know, what do you do with a waffle maker that waffles don't come out of? You have two options. You can, there's three. You can keep it. I don't know why, because you have a shelf that has this much space that needs to have something on it. I guess that's one option. You can give it to somebody else who has that much shelf space that can't hold a waffle, or can hold a waffle iron that doesn't release the waffles. You can throw it away. You can recycle it, or you could try to fix it. Me being me, first thing I did is like, well, what does it cost to replace it? Well, you can get a replacement one for a varying price. I think the cheapest one I saw that would solve the problem was like $20. Because the iron, I think it was like a broken machine, but it had the irons. But the irons that were like, they were new, so like you just buy new irons, they're your problem solved. But you know, if you like a challenge like I do, if you like a challenge, you ask the AI what to do, then you go through days of conversating with AI over a waffle iron and come to find out at the end the waffle iron advice the AI was giving you was the wrong advice and would have destroyed the whole thing because the AI is not trustworthy. Please don't trust AI. The more I use AI, the more I realize that the human race is doomed. Absolutely doomed. What are we doing here? 2/3 cup of cold water. Coming up. Where's 2/3 at? There you are. So the waffle irons come out because they're reversible, which is good, but they're extraordinarily layered. So AI is like, well, do an aluminum, or not aluminum, do an ammonia vapor soak on them. And it's like, oh really? And okay, well let's learn about that. So I opened another AI. I was like, what happens if I do a? So that's the thing. This is what I've learned about AI. If you ask AI a question, the next thing you have to do is open another window, start a new interaction with the AI, and then question that one as to the advice the other one gave you, but don't tell it you got that advice from an AI. Because the second AI window I gave was like, whoa. If you do an ammonia vapor treatment on those aluminum plates, any exposed aluminum is going to get treated faster and it's going to fuck it up. Well, the backside's raw aluminum. So it's like, well, if I would have done that, I would have just destroyed them. So like, I'd have been out the cost of the aluminum, the plastic bags, my effort, and then the whole thing would be for naught. So it's like, well, at least I didn't listen to the AI. And then for fun, I just went back and questioned the first AI. It's like, well, according to the other AI that I just asked, it said if I did that, it would destroy everything. It's, oh, well, no, yeah, you got me. Just like, Jesus. Oh, AI. I've been asking a lot of advice from AI lately, and I got a feeling I've been misled. I just got a feeling I've been misled. Like, what did I find the other day? In the trash pile. An old box of whiskey bottles that, like, I've saved from the trash in my own life probably 5 times. Probably 5 times I've stood over this box of whiskey bottles with another individual who was in possession of the whiskey bottles, or sorry, not possession, who was housing the whiskey bottles. And been like, we should throw that shit away. And I'm like, no, let's save it. You know, you got room. You got space over there for a box. Let's save those whiskey bottles. So whatever. The other day, the whiskey bottles were about to go. Like, that's the end of the whiskey bottles. So I was like, well, I'll take the whiskey bottles to my house. And these are all right. We're gonna do a lesson here. In the world of random shit, one of the objects or type of objects in the world of random shit is glass and glassware and glass bottles. And like it all gets categorized. I gotta rinse this off, otherwise we'll never come in. Give me 1 second. So like the overall category is glass. So glass is a thing that like people collect or whatever. There's lots of subcategories in glass. There's new glass, there's crystal, there's lead crystal, there's uranium, which glows under blacklight, which is really cool. I don't own any of that, but someday I would like to get a piece of uranium glass, just to say I did. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. And one of the categories is bottles. It's a whole thing. And in the category of bottles, you know, there's wine bottles and beer bottles and soda bottles and liquor bottles, and then when you get into each one of those bottles, there's subcategories of all that. And so in the liquor bottles, one of the subcategories is whiskey bottles. Well, there's a bunch, like not a bunch, like I don't know, 5 or 6 half-pint whiskey bottles, and these are Doug. So when it comes to bottles, you know, your subcategory, there's probably at least 3, if not more, categories of bottles. There's new bottles with the original liquid in them. That's top tier. With label, you know, perfect label, filled with the liquid, sealed, good condition. That's like what everybody wants. After that, you got like crack seal, liquid partially missing, label can be in whatever condition. Then there's empty with label, you know, that's good. Then there's empty with partial label. Then there's empty with no label. And then there's empty with no label Doug, which means it was in the earth. That's what I have Doug bottles. They have been in the earth or on the earth or earth adjacent, whatever. They were dirty. So like a normal human being would, I was like, well, I'm gonna clean these old dirty bottles. I did that the other day for fun. And as I'm scrubbing the dirt off, there was like 2 of them that still had the faintest of label on them. And when I say the faintest, I'm like, am I seeing a label on there? Because like in my mind, they should have been paper labels, but somehow they were like some sort of like painted label. I don't really understand, or it transferred or something. Very little to see on there. One, you could kind of see the main part of the label. There was a building going across, and then the top was on the neck. There was a date. So I was like, oh, I'll just snap a couple photos, shove them in the AI. The AI will be able to do a reverse image search with a little bit of data that it can see on my image and cross-reference its plethora of the universe and easily solve this riddle. And I did that, and the AI goes, oh, those are Seagram's 7 bottles. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? It's like, yeah, those are Seagram 7 bottles from like the 60s. And I'm like, like in my mind, I'm like, well, these are way older than that shit. Like, these are old bottles. Like, they're cork bottles. They're not twist top bottles. It's like, tell me it's bottles with twist tops on top. And I was like, give me an image. So it gives me an image of brown glass Seagrams. It looks I'm like, and then from that point forward, the AI was obsessed with Seagram's bottles, and it wouldn't stop talking about Seagrams. And at one point, it was trying to convince me that I brought up Seagrams. And I was like, dude, I didn't say Seagrams. Because one of the very faint little bitty things that you could see. What am I doing here? How was I putting the battery in there? Let's turn this up. Let me use a spoon. I could make out the date of 1912 on the bottle. And then like a little bit of another number, but I couldn't tell what that was. And then the other bottle, it looked like it said the exact same spot where 1912 was, it said 13, but the 19 was scratched off. So in my mind, you know, the AI is like, oh, that's a licensing number of 1912, not the date. And then I was like, well, then why does the exact same or similar bottle in the same spot, in the same font and everything, where the 19's missing says 13? Like, if it was a bottle number that went to on all their stuff, it would be 1912 on all of them. It wouldn't be 1913 on one and 19. Anyways. So I'm sitting there having an argument with AI over it. And we're going through the details of the bottles, you know, like the cork top, yeah. Does the seam go all the way up into the neck? Does it have a punny spot on the bottom? Does it have a, what's called a suction spot? These appear to have a suction, which is like right where they switched from hand-blown bottles, which would have a punty or puntle, if you will. If you've ever done hand-blown glass, you know anything about hand-blown glass. You gather the glass with a stick, you blow it, then you transfer it onto a punty, which is like a spot where it disappears from, if that makes sense, but from the blow stick. But like when you crack it off the punty, there's always like a broken spot on the bottom. Like if you ever look at old glass, you'll see like what looks like a broken spot, like oh no, it's broken. Let's call it a punny or puntiel, if you will, but people just call it punny. These do not have punny marks on them. But they do have this weird, it looks like a disc, or a ring, if you will, circle that's not always centered and doesn't look like it belongs. And what I found out, I learned this, that's called a suction ring. And that's from when they started like kind of automating the process. And like there's a little bit more to it. I didn't get really, I'm going to open this with a trash can because last time stuff fell everywhere. There's a little bit more to like the mold mark. I need to figure this out because if the mold mark goes up into the lip, it could possibly, let's see, how do I want to say it? If the mold mark doesn't go up into the lip, it could be hand finished, which means they like, it's kind of hand blown and machine made, if you will. But I gotta get the nuance of. Do they mean the line going up to here, does it have to go on the lip to be not hand finished, or is it, see, I gotta figure that out. Because I don't know. But like, none of them are like amazing. You know, I shot a few, but they're cool. Like, I don't know. I got a sweet spot for old shit. I always have. Like when I was a kid, I was always like super impressed with anything that was like even remotely close to 100 years old. And I guess I shouldn't just say when I was a kid. Like, I still am impressed, but like when I was young, 100 years was like, oh, about as old as anything on the planet Earth could ever get. And if it was 100 years old, that was like an artifact equal to a dinosaur bone, essentially, because it was 100 years old. You know, like, it was just not a whole lot of things were going to get much older than 100 years old, right? And I actually don't even remember seeing much. I was 100 years old when I was growing up. Oh, that was a fail. Emergency repair. But that 100-year mark, you know, was always magical. Well, I've gotten old since then. Sorry. I mean, if you've lived for almost 50 years yourself, 100 years, oh God, now you're getting up there. And the other thing I've learned about old stuff is the only way you get old stuff is it has to be around long enough. And most stuff doesn't stick around very long. Like, I really feel like we live what do you call the age that we live in now? We live in the disposable age or whatever, where everything's like made of garbage and it doesn't last very long to begin with. It's like one of the funnier things I've heard recently is there's like IKEA furniture, like old IKEA furniture. If you're familiar with IKEA is a famous company that makes. They're a Swedish company, and their furniture is what I would call disposable furniture. Like, if you can buy a piece of IKEA furniture and you assemble it correctly, and you put it where it's going to go for its entire life, you are set. It will serve you. You will have many good years of use. You will be happy with it. As long as a couple things don't happen. It can't get any moisture, and you can't move it. If you move it, it'll destroy it. You maybe get one move out of it, but you gotta be real careful. You can't slide it. It's very fragile. It's made of tissue paper, basically. Obviously, liquids destroy it, right? So because of that, old IKEA furniture is rare. Can you believe that shit? And it's collectible too. People collect old IKEA furniture because it doesn't exist because it all fell apart and broke. Kind of wild. Makes me kind of wonder what's going to be collectible from our age because it's all a bunch of broken shit. But it's true. Like how many old well, whatever. How many old smartphones you got laying around? Most people chuck that shit. Actually, most people well, I don't know what most people do. Trade it in. It's just like the technology thing is like, it's different than it used to be. Like in the good old days, stuff used to be usable still. Like your old stuff was just, it was the same as the new stuff, it was just old. Now the new stuff is just useless. It's like obsolete. Like an old griddle is just an old griddle. But if you bought a new griddle that had a Bluetooth connection to let you know the temperature of the griddle to your phone, at some point, that's going to be obsolete, and that's just going to be a boat anchor. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Anyways, back to bottles. So, I don't think it would strike anyone as like, I can't believe that, but it's true. I already have a bottle collection. I have a bunch of old bottles. True story, true facts. I don't go out looking for bottles, but like if a bottle presents itself into my life, it becomes part of my bottle collection. I don't collect just any old bottle, but like I think most of my bottle collection, and this is the truth, came out of my garden from me like running the tiller and a bottle pops out. It's like, oh, old bottle. Grab that, look at it. How broken is it? Oh, it's not broken at all. Well, that goes in the bottle collection. If it looks cool, it's like, oh, it's a cool shape or a weird thing, or I've never seen that before, and it maybe has a little chip in it. Put it in the bottle collection. Here's the best part. I was just messing with my bottle collection like last year. I had it out and I was looking at it. And then I was like, I'm going to put this away. Yeah, I can't remember where I put it. How fun is that? I wanted to reference my bottle collection, and I cannot remember for the life of me where I put my bottle collection. I mean, I got an idea, but like I can't find it. I used to know where it was. It was sitting on the counter, soaking, trying to get the dirt out of the inside is where it was for like months and months and months and years. I was always working on those goddamn bottles. I learned a trick the other day. I haven't tried it yet. Oh, we got a comment. Sorry. Collecting. What is that? Oh, bro, you have no idea. Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna harsh your attempts at a collection of whatever you're collecting, but some of us take it to the next level. Anywho's, I found out you can put uncooked rice in the bottle and shake it, and that will agitate the debris, if you will, supposedly to help clean the bottles. So So back to the bottle. So I'm learning. We had this little situation in the United States called Prohibition. That was roughly, I'm going to ballpark it, ended before the 40s and started around the 20s ish. It was kind of the partway through the 20s and ended partway through the 30s, about 10 years there. So during that time, liquor, it's a very nuanced topic of laws. So, and I know most people just say, oh, prohibition, alcohol was illegal. That's not exactly how prohibition worked. During prohibition, the making of alcohol was illegal. The owning of alcohol that was made pre-prohibition was legal. So basically what that meant was if you were a regular / poor person, because regular people are poor people, sorry to break anyone's feelings about their position in life, like, you couldn't have liquor. But if you were a rich person, and when I say a rich person, I mean you live in a building that you don't ever touch, and the people that work for you take care of everything and cook for you and all that, that's a rich person. They just filled their liquor hoard with all the liquor and wine and champagne they wanted, and they were good to go. But everybody else was just sucking eggs and bootlegging. But there was a way you could get liquor during Prohibition. That was medically prescribed liquor. You could have a doctor write you a script for whiskey for your ailments. So they had to have liquor bottles for that liquor. And some of those liquor bottles, there was a law that was passed, and this law went clear up into, I think they repealed it like in the I don't even remember, 40s, maybe 50s. Anyways, the bottles had to be labeled. Federal law prohibits the use of this bottle for reuse or whatever. They were one-time use bottles, and you were a felon, a federal lawbreaker, if you took that bottle and you put something else in it, and they would emboss that shit in the glass, so you could date your glass that way, because I don't have the dates memorized perfectly. Sorry, I'm not an encyclopedia. I mean, I could, but I just choose not to, like one of them type of deals. Anyways, so if you find a bottle that says that, that's not necessarily. You can definitely timestamp that. That's not pre-prohibition. That's prohibition forward up to an end date where they no longer required that to be embossed in the glass. So very recently, I've never seen this before, but very recently I've seen a couple bottles that had that. There was a few of them in my bucket that I've got. Then there was another piece on display that I saw that had that embossing in it, which I think is cool because you don't see a lot of that. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that that's a rare thing, because obviously that shit was made in bulk. Wait, hold on a second. Did you quit making videos? It's been a month. Yeah, I know. I've been kind of busy doing something. like I said, I'm gathering content. We're gonna be unlimited content coming soon. Anyways, so I'd never really noticed a bottle that said federal law prohibits use, and that does make it it's a snapshot in the time of history of glass. It doesn't make it a rare thing, but it's not a common thing. Does that make any sense? It's a thing that has survived to this point. So, I'm looking through these whiskey bottles. A couple of them are marked that. So, in my mind, if I know the lore of this box, I believe this box was gathered by an individual of unknown, don't know who they were, and it was saved. And I don't know how many hands it's gone through, but I think a family member of mine acquired it or purchased it off somebody and then bestowed it to a closer family member of mine who has been holding on to it in the corner of an attic, if you will. And now it's, I guess, mine. So I'm pretty sure these bottles are I think the ones that are marked federal use prohibited are the new ones, and I think the other ones are the older ones. I don't think it's the other way around. They're cool though. They're like flasks. All cork stopper stuff. Still soaking. But yeah, just trying to think something else that I've recently acquired that's like kind of crazy. Like, I don't know how to describe exactly how crazy it is, but it's just like, how the fuck? I've come into possession of a box. Actually, can I talk about this on a live stream? Maybe I can't. It's firearms related. Anyway, a box of ammo that's like 90 years old. That's like, it has been opened and looked at, you can tell, but it's never been, it's all there. It's all original. It's all exactly like you'd want it to be. And what's interesting about it is it's marked federal property, and it's a double-aught gauge, if you will. And it's fucking crazy, dude. It's like the craziest shit. It's like, where the fuck was that? You know, I have a conversation with the person who was entrusted in, like, you know, keeping that safe, and they're like, oh, give a rough answer where they think it may have came from. It's like, Jesus Christ, just a box of ammo on the shelf for 90 years. No one's ever seen it. Hasn't been in the light. Just been literally time capsuled for literally 90 years. There's probably museums that don't have a box of ammo that look like this. Like, it's just, shit's crazy, dude. Absolutely bonkers. Oops. Yeah, so I need to make some videos. I've just been doing a lot of like trying to sort shit, like figure stuff. I've been trying to figure a lot of stuff out lately, which has been taking up my evenings. Like, I'm not even video gaming anymore. Oh man, but it's fun. I'm having fun. Just you know, checking stuff out, learning about stuff. I think what else is going on. My nose is running, that's for sure. I gotta pour some juice. We haven't poured any juice yet. I'm gonna spill juice everywhere. Let's get a cup out. Oh. We won't use that cup. That might offend somebody. I don't want to offend any snowflakes. So yeah, I don't know if you didn't catch the beginning of the stream, because my number one fan, Jeremy, Jeremy2346, always likes to ask about tools, and I do have some new tools. I need to make videos on them. But yeah, there's a. Well, we're gonna go lefty. We're gonna go lefty. Let's do a lefty. Pro lefty. Commit. Oh, mad spilling. Jesus Christ. That was a fail. Yeah, some old wrenches. Oh, they're kind of cool. Some model. I think they're Model T or Model A wrenches. Just ancient. One looks like an adjustable plumber's wrench. That one's kind of cool, actually. Where you spin the little thing and the wrench gets bigger. Unfortunately, I'm fairly certain those wrenches are. Like, how do I? Oh, that's a Cajun pancake there. Those wrenches, I believe, are like, how old would they be? I think maybe my grandfather got those used and then were put in the possession of my father, and then I guess they're mine now, but like, just like, I don't know if like one of the wrenches that look like anyone's ever used it. The other ones look kind of used. Well, there's one of them. It's kind of a cool wrench too. It's like all curvy and bent. It looks pretty pristine, other than like the surface is all, you know, kind of clapped out. Looks like it was cared for about as much as a person who didn't care about it would care for it. Just like sat in a box for 50 years, 60 years. Never was oiled, never was looked at, never was anything. I hit them with the wire brush and then oiled them the other day just to try to save them. But, you know, whatever. I don't think but a chicken wing. Lots of projects. I got an opportunity to, if I choose, I think I'm going to try it. I don't know. I got the opportunity to maybe restore or have or build or whatever you want to call it an old, I guess it wouldn't be an antique, but it'd be definitely vintage. It's either kind of like a gumball machine or a candy machine. I think these were technically used, they were used for like nuts. You like buy a handful of nuts maybe, or I really don't know the whole thing. I know that like they were going like in the trash and they were swiped from the trash. This is probably 30 years ago. I think there was 5 of these machines. They were all pretty beat up, and somebody that I know was able to make one good machine out of the parts, and then the parts just got shoved in the corner and were left there. So now there's parts for like 4 machines. But unfortunately, you know, like all the perfect parts were, you know, built the first machine. And, you know, the next parts, it's like, I think there might be one in there. They're square machines. So it's a square base, 25 cents, the spin knob, the chute, and then it's a metal box with a glass face, and then a cast aluminum top. I got 4 good glasses. The thing I'm struggling with is the faces of like the coin operator. Someone tried to break into them, and I think they're all technically damaged. One's pretty good. The cases they vary in roughness. Some are real bad. Some have slight like rusty spots. I have 2 bases, like stands on the floor that bring them up to like, you know, operation level. So it makes sense to restore 2 of them. It's just like, you know, we can count on the fingers. How many gumball machines does a person need? How many do I need? The answer for me is probably 0, honestly. But like, it could be cool. I did look. I can get new face. I can buy the face part for, I think, $16. I guess. I don't know. The glass is cool because that's what's hard to find is the glass, obviously. This original glass has got the sticker inside, or like a silk screen price. I haven't actually pulled them out of the boxes and inspected them too close, but I don't know. It looks like maybe 2 would be the max that could be built out of it. 1 for sure. it kind of feels like one needs to be made, because I mean, what's the point of having a gumball machine for, well, for sure since the 80s in a box, probably the 70s, and they could be older, because like, I was looking at the stands. Give me 1 second here, wash my hands. I noticed on the stands, they had been repainted, and someone put a sticker over like the label that said who owned it, with a new label. So like they had been, I don't know that much about vending. I had a friend who used to, like back in the day, I don't know if he may still do, I doubt it though. This guy I knew used to like he used to do vending, and he kind of told me about it a little bit. It was fascinating. It was a whole like when you walk into a store and you're going in and you look and you see like the gumball machines, the toy machines, and the candy machines and all that stuff. The things for like little kids to like put a quarter in or whatever. My understanding is the stores don't own that. Those are privately owned. And it's like a deal's made with the location to let the person put the machines there. Now there's different, like, there's no rule on how that works. The kid that was telling me about it, or the guy, like he had a situation where they had a deal where like it was like associated with like a charity, and they had a person that would. That a person who was associated with the charity, that it was a religious charity, and they would dress in their religious outfit. I think they were, I'm not saying it was a scam, but like this guy's job was to dress in the garb, go inside, talk to the people, and acquire the permission to put the stands in. And that's what his job was. And then he would basically allow people to use those spots with his permission that he got from the store. And then like you could buy that permission. And what this guy done, a person before him was getting out of the game or out of the business of vending, and he acquired his vending machines and his permissions, whatever. He was making good money with it too. But I didn't realize all that. That's how it works. So like vending machines are owned by people. Like you can buy your own vending machine. If you can find a person to let you put it there, then that's you. Like Coke machine. You can buy a Coke machine. Find a business that'll let you plug it in front of their house or in their lobby, and you just restock it and you make the money. And you know, if you're sneaky, you don't have to pay them anything. Otherwise, you got to pay the business for the location. I'm sure at some point there's like a industry standard for some of that shit. I don't know what it would be, but anywho's. You know, a lot of businesses will let you put them there just so like people will like stick around or not leave or whatever. I'm kind of oversimplifying it, but like, if you own an orange stand and you sell oranges, you don't want to deal with candy bars, so you let a guy put his candy bar machine by your orange stand with the hopes that someone might be at your orange stand, see the candy machine, and maybe hang around and buy another orange. Very simplified. I think that's kind of how it works. You know, oh, mommy, I want to go to the grocery store with the horsey ride. The grocery store doesn't own the horsey ride. Someone put the horsey ride there. The grocery store agreed to let them do that with the hopes that somehow it will benefit them. You know what? Okay, here we go. So these vending machine, 25-cent spinner, nut, whatever the hell they are, I think were owned by multiple companies. They're old. Anyways, no big deal. They're Victor brands is what they are. They're Victors. So I just got to figure out there should be enough parts there. I mean, I may have to repaint them, but I've got a sandblaster. That's no big deal. Fun little side quest. And then, yeah, that's pretty epic. Little side quest action. The old vending machine, candy, whatever the hell you want to call it. Stop looking at the cabinets, you weirdos. Oh yeah, the collections. I was like I'm looking over there, and I'm just seeing like, well, we got a bunch of stuff for the collections just sitting right there. Here, I'll grab one real quick. Sorry, this was a little fuzzy there. Why is this so crooked? Hey! Check this out. What we got here? The Home Safe 160-degree viewer. Can we... Let me see, which way does this go? All right, it's this way. Yeah. I just gotta figure out which door to put it in. I don't want to. Like, what door do I need to be able to see through? That's the real question. It threads. You drill a hole in the door and you thread it in. When I found this, it was like I was joking around. I was like, so which door do I want to be looking through while I'm reloading? That's the question there. So like, some of my doors have glass. You can see through them while you're reloading. But which doors of mine that are solid do I want to be able to see through while either selecting or reloading, you know? I'm trying to figure that one out. Like, do I want to be able to see into my garage, see who's snooping while I select or reload? Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. But I think that's one of the doors. One of my solid doors get a peephole. Nothing for weirdness. Like, we're not gonna look. Well, you can put it in the bathroom, look out of the bathroom. That could be fun. But yeah, we might do that one into the garage, so I can see what the fuck's in my garage from inside without letting you know that I know they're in the garage. Good times. The Ajax Scoville 160 door viewer number 660. We should Google that. How old do you think this is? Again, it's ancient. It's in the original package. Look for a date. I don't see a date. What the hell? Just for funsies. Hold on a second. We'll get the AI going. Give me some AI here. Where's my AI at? We'll do a little googly AI. Alright, here we go. Let's take a picture of it real quick. AI, what the hell is this thing? Okay. You go along the ride with me. And yeah, I have to look over the top of my glasses because I'm old. Something I've recently found out. I'm an old person. Alright. Yeah, we already know all that. It's from the 60s or 70s. A vintage new old stock. That package is a little rough. Typically values 5 to 15. Listed on secondary markets for 5 to 12 on eBay. Oh, I don't see anyone that looks... It's supposed to be a really old one. None of the packaging looks like that. So you can look through all that. Make all sorts of stuff. Isn't that fun? Oh, I should turn the stove off. Just heard it click. Oh, man. Yeah, we might upgrade. We might get a little see-through-the-door upgrade like that. That was just like a thing. Just like, whoa, what's that? Drilling holes, baby. I'm going to drill some holes. All right. I feel like we've gone past an hour. All right. Pancakes is over. Yeah. Lots of content coming your way. I usually film my content in the evenings, and my evenings I've been busy doing stuff in the evenings, so can't film content if you're doing something else. So, anywho's, got the live streams to get you through the week. We'll make some videos here. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I'll put this in there at the end. Someone I know just bought a new printer, 3D printer. They got a 4-head swappable, dude. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. Talked to them the other day. They're like, yeah, I upgraded my printer, got a 4-head swappable. I was like, oh, dude, that'd be so rad. Like, printing multiple colors without purging in between. Like, my God, the stuff you could make, it would be... I mean, don't get me wrong. The machine I got can print multiple colors. It's just like, it purges between each color, and depending on how your colors are layered, you could end up spitting more filament into the trash can than goes in the object. If it's, like, for example, if you had an object that was being printed vertical like this, you know, the words here, that would get crazy, because it would be like blue, 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 and it would like skip blue, 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 blue. Then it would go white, it'd do the white, 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 white. Then it'd go back to blue, 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 blue. You know what I mean? It's just, it would just be purging constantly. And like here, it'd be like blue, and it would stop, purge white, stop, purge red, stop, purge white, 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 stop, purge red, purge white, red, white, red, white, red, purge white, purge red, purge white. It would do that, purge blue. It would be insane. Like, you could do it with my machine, but it was like, who the hell would do something like that? You'd waste so much filament. So now with these multi-heads, it doesn't purge, it just backs off, grabs the other head, then it squirts that color, then it comes back out and grabs the head. It's like, oh my God. And that's the future. It's like everything else in life, you know. You wait long enough, you look back, and it's like, you know, single filament is like, damn, that's old, but like before single filament was no filament. So if single filament was cool, it's like, dude, 3D printer, single filament. And then they had multicolor like I've got. It's like, dude, multicolor, that's crazy, multicolor. And then, you know, people are going to look back and it's like, dude, they used to purge between colors. Like, bah, 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 bah. Yeah. So, good times. I looked at that printer, rad printer if you watch this. I think it's cool. It's amazing what they're doing now. But, yeah. Peace. I got to go do some things. I got to go do my things. Later. Stay safe. Have fun. Do what you do. I'm out.